chapters of our achievements, we can see our hopes and dreams through any challenge. The long-awaited reunion is finally here. This December in Changsha, let's reunite to raise our glasses and celebrate again.
Okay, welcome back. How's tea break? How is tea break? Please give yourself a round of applause. Okay, now it's finally my turn. Please settle down. But before I go into my topic for today's training seminar, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all speakers that were standing on this stage earlier on. Our faith and Dato Kenny, Hu Tian Chai, Hasib, Feng Yuan. Let's give them the biggest round of applause. When they received news of coming to Europe, such a distance from their original country, they did not mention anything and just simply accept. These are the right leaders of Riway, and these are our role models that is very worth for us to learn from them. Once again, please give them the biggest round of applause. Finally, it's my turn. Today, my topic that I'm going to share is something that, for me, I feel that it can be quite challenging. The topic that I'll be sharing is the core of the team. When I receive this topic, it is not something that I share very often. I mean, I do share about it, but not as a leadership training seminar topic. When I receive news that I'm going to be sharing this topic, I ask myself a lot of questions. What exactly is the core of the team? What exactly is core? To me, in Riway, I know there is the core management team. So that is the closest to this topic. But I don't think that is enough to justify this topic. So before I go into this topic directly, maybe I can share some of my personal experience before I come into Riway. Because before I come into Riway, I have no knowledge about what exactly is a team. I have no knowledge about what is the importance of having a core in a team. Because in Singapore's education system, I'm from Singapore. In Singapore's education system, we are educated in a way whereby whichever subject you study, in the future, after you graduated, you will go into that field, that industry that you study in school or in college. So I graduated with chemical engineering. I'm a chemical engineer, dealing specifically with oil and gas. Back then, I was given this opportunity to work for Shell, also a European company. I was working in a refinery in Singapore, working for Shell Petroleum. Back then, a lot of times we have to depend on ourselves. I didn't have a team to work with. I think that was when I managed to get this job. I didn't have a team to work with. A lot of time, my superior will request for me to complete certain job, certain tasks. And standing in his perspective, all he wants is for the job to be completed and there's no problems created for my superior. And from my perspective, as an employee of the company, I'm supposed to take instruction from my supervisor. I have to complete the task and not give any problem. So back then, in my previous working environment, there is no core, there is no team. There is only this kind of mentality whereby you do because your boss asks you to do. I suppose in many traditional business or many different industries, as employee, this is typically the case of how this employee works in the company. The reason why I will leave that company is also because of my education. In Singapore, and I believe in the rest of the world, for certain companies, they value a lot on your education level. I didn't pursue any masters or doctorate because I don't have much interest in studying back then. So because of my highest education level in Shell, back then in the company, I wasn't able to be climbing up to the next position. Because to be able to be promoted to the next position, I will need to continue my studies, get maybe a PhD, then I will be able to be given a chance to be promoted to the next level. So during that period, I felt very stagnant. I felt lost. I have no direction of what is my future career going to be. And that was when I observed my younger brother and James, which is currently the general manager of Riway Philippines. We have been friends for many years from young. Back then, we have the same character, we have the same attitude. When we can be lazy, we will just laze around. We are not hardworking. Whenever we can earn quick money, we will find ways to earn quick money. And most importantly is back then, this group of people, including myself, there was a common trait. The common trait is we don't treat our family well. Maybe when I share this with you all, you will feel it's quite hard to believe. But back then, me and my younger brother, we were more focused in doing what we want to do. And we are we won't care about what our parents need, what our parents want, including James. The way he talked to his family, the way he talked to his mom, most of the time when I do visit him in his home, the kind of tone that this close friend of mine will use on his mom is the kind that anybody, when they hear it, they will feel that this person's attitude is very poor. But it's the same for myself. It's the same for my brother. So as I was working for Shell, my younger brother joined Riway, as well as James joined Riway. And then they started growing in this company. So one thing that is very amazing or very amusing in Riway is when we decided to make this decision to join this company, and if you put in 100% in this company, as time passes, you will gradually change without you knowing. Do you agree? Because the environment forces you to change. If you used to be lazy, if you used to be unmotivated, coming into Riway, whereby the environment is so positive, it's always encouraging. You like it or not, somehow or rather, your body will go through certain changes. Your mindset will go through certain changes. So it is this kind of changes that gradually attracted me into wanting to find out more about Riway, this company. So what amazes me the most is when I was still working for Shell, my younger brother came back home one day and then he told me, I think we should bring our parents to a trip in Indonesia, to Phuket, this place. Maybe to many of us here, going to another country for a family trip, it is very normal. But throughout my life, from young to before I come into Riway, we never ever had a family trip. Not even to our neighboring country, Malaysia. Because why? Because I was focusing in my own job. I don't care about anything else. My younger brother was focusing with his own job and don't care about family, don't care about anything else. But as he worked a few years in Riway, he came back and he told me, should we arrange for a family trip to a beach resort? Let's bring mom and dad to somewhere nice and chill and have some family time. It was at this moment I realized this person is not my brother. My brother in the past doesn't have this kind of attitude. We always bicker with our parents. We always find them a nuisance. We always ask them to don't disturb us. We play our game. That was the kind of attitude back then. But why is it coming into Riway can change someone's character? To me, I always feel a person's character is built from young. And if you have this kind of character, it is very difficult to change. If you are lazy, most probably you will be lazy for the rest of your life. If you are not motivated, you will be unmotivated for the rest of your life. Now what is so special about this company? That my brother, when he came in for maybe 2 years as a business development, he can change 180 degrees and propose a family trip with our parents. So I gradually started to feel, Riway, there's something wrong with this company. I really feel that this company, there's something wrong. Because to change a person's character, it is not something that you can do it overnight. I started doing research, and eventually they invited me to exactly the same as what we see today, a leadership training seminar in Malaysia. Back then, maybe it's a little bit more than what we see here today. But when I joined the leadership training seminar, like I have shared earlier on, all the successful speakers from Asia, they were standing on stage, sharing about how good our product, just like what Faith shared today. Back of my head, I just listen. The information coming from this year and the information come out from that year. Because I don't believe in direct selling. I don't believe in multi-level marketing. Because in Singapore, this industry, direct selling and multi-level marketing, is commonly known as a scam, as a platform where people's money will be cheated by this company. And I have no interest in direct selling, but I have a very strong interest in how this company changed my brother. That is only my core meaning in wanting to find out how Riway can change my younger brother. At the same time, I was facing with a limitation in my previous job in Shell Refinery. I took the leap of faith to quit my high-paying job in Singapore, and I decided to join Riway. I remember my last drawn salary while working for Shell Petroleum was close to 10,000 Singapore dollar, which is probably 30,000 Polish currency. When I came into Riway, I had an 80% pay cut because I don't have any experience in direct selling. When I joined business development, I have no business development knowledge. I have no market ability. So we start from the lowest pay back then. I remember very vividly, it is 2,000 Singapore dollar back then. So there is a drastically 80% salary decrease. And that is not the net that is going to my bank. In Singapore, there's taxes. So there's a 20% tax, which means to say I'm getting less than 20%. Every month I only have 1,600 to spend. And back then I feel that it's enough, because as I started working for Shell, I have never given a single allowance to my parents. As I'm sharing this on stage with you all, I feel very remorseful. I had a high-paying job working for Shell, but at the age of 27, sadly, I'm still taking allowance from my parents. And I never have this mindset that since I'm earning a salary from a company, I should be giving back to my parents. I never had this thinking until I came into Riway. So when I come into Riway, I was very fresh. I'm very thankful for this opportunity that my brother and James, he always find time to share with me about Riway, share about business development, share about our boss. When I came into Riway, I was very, very motivated. Maybe because I see a very big change in my younger brother. I remember when I left my previous job, my previous boss asked me, what is the reason you want to leave this job? Is it because of money? Is it because your colleague, they are not treating you well? These are the typical exit interview questions that the boss will normally ask. But somehow or other, something came to me and I told my boss, my previous boss, it is not about the money. It is not about the people that I'm working with. I told him, I see a very big change in my younger brother's character. And I feel that if I continue to stay in Shell, I will only be able to learn more technical skills, more hands-on skills. But if I want to change my character, if I want to improve myself to become a better person, there is no way I can learn it in Shell. Which is why I decided to join Riway International. I think just this alone, we should give Riway International a big round of applause. Riway changes many people's lives. I believe I am not the only one that benefited from this company. There are so many of us, not limiting to Europe, in Asia, many people, they will say, I will live for Riway and I will die for Riway. Then we have to understand what exactly is this company. Just like when I came in. Before I come in, there's a person's name that I have always been hearing. Every time when I'm with my brother, every time I'm with James, there's this specific name that I keep hearing. And this person is the Senior Director of Business Development, Dato Kenny. So, because when I joined the department, it's Business Development. My immediate superior is Dato Kenny. I started to be very curious about this person. Because if this person is the immediate superior of myself, he is also the immediate superior of my very close friend and brother. I started to get very close to him, wanting to find out how exactly in this environment can change my brother. Being a very new staff, all I know is a lot of business development, be it from Singapore, Malaysia or Taiwan back then, if you want to grow at a very, very fast pace, you need to be able to travel to a new market, base in the new market, work with the people in the new market, and create certain results together. So back of my head, I'm always thinking, I want to go overseas. I want to go overseas. I don't want to stay in Singapore. And then that was when I was given a chance to go to Myanmar, this country. When you ask me when I go over to Myanmar, what was my feeling? Initially, I thought I will be deployed to Japan. And as a Singaporean, I was always excited about Japan. But somehow or rather, maybe the luck is not there. I was deployed to Myanmar. But it didn't change my intention because I wanted to learn. I wanted to grow. I wanted to change. Just like my brother, just like James. So going anywhere to me is not important because I know this is definitely an opportunity for myself. And just this decision alone, I spent 5 years in Myanmar, this country. Until now, there is a new general manager that took over this position, which is why now I became the business development deputy chief and focusing more on the Europe's market. Why I want to share this experience is because when I first go over to Myanmar, this new market, it was a brand new market with only maybe 20 Diamond Star leaders. Back then, the highest ranking leader is only a Team Elite Bravo. But if you did listen to what Dr. Kenny mentioned, a new market with only a Team Elite Bravo, they are able to do 1,000 over people product presentation. So to me, I feel that it's a very good opportunity. But as someone that is so new to this business, as someone that just joined this company, I remember when I joined Riway, 3 months later I was deployed to Myanmar. As someone new, what can I do in this market to help the people in this market? So back then, I'm very, very thankful because every now and then, this person that I mentioned earlier on, Dr. Kenny, he will always travel to Myanmar to support me, to teach me, to guide me, and also to help out this market. And this has been going on throughout my 5 years in Myanmar. So a lot of times when I travel to different countries, they say, "Oh, Dixie, you are very strong. You are very knowledgeable. Such a market like Myanmar, you can create so many excellent leaders in this country." I will always say, I am not strong. I am not knowledgeable. If not for this team that is always supporting Myanmar, this market, I will not be able to come to where I am today. So I want to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Kenny as well. Please give Dr. Kenny a round of applause. I see a very, very big changes in Riway as compared to my previous industry. In the past, I am always instructed to do a task because the company needs a certain result. But when I joined Riway, I realized it is not like in the past whereby you can do it alone. Because in Riway, we are talking about team. We are talking about cooperation. And I really see this support coming from Riway. I really see this support coming from the business development team as well. And this is something very different for myself as compared to the past. Not only we receive support from business development, for an event like this, to construct the stage, to set up all the tables and chairs, when we step in, and everything is so well arranged, the bottles position is arranged so straight. And all this is also being arranged by our Riway marketing team. And all the arrangement in terms of food, VIP and everything, we have this kind of support from our operation team. So it is the first time I joined a company, not only I'm supported by my own immediate superior, we have support from other departments as well. In the past, we are more focused on our own department. Every other department is like an enemy for your department. But when I come into Riway, I got a shock. It seems to me like every department in Riway is working hand in hand to support our distributor and our leaders. I want to take this opportunity to thank Riway's marketing and operation as well. As I get to work longer times in Riway International, I get to spend more time with our boss as well, Mr. Lim. In the past, when I first joined Riway, to get close to Mr. Lim, it is so difficult. Because when I joined the company, I'm only an executive. The starting point ranking of an employee. And back then, to be able to be seated together with our boss, Mr. Lim, you have to be at least a manager, a business development manager, to be able to be seated together, engaged in some kind of conversation. Back then, my younger brother was a business development manager. James was a business development manager. So I will often see this scene whereby Dato Kenny, James, and my brother, they will sit together with our boss, Mr. Lim. And then I, as a new staff, I will be sitting at one corner because of different ranking. So in my heart, I would think, why they can sit with boss, why I cannot sit with boss? And this gives me an energy. This gives me a very, very huge energy to prove myself that if my brother can do it, if James can do it, then I should be able to do it as well. So it's the same thing. Today we see this area which is directly in front of the stage. There is a barricade that is separating what? It's separating the team elites of Riway from non-team elites. For all of us that are seated behind, when we are seated at our seat looking at this setup, what is the feeling or what is this energy that is giving us? I think is very important. Are we very comfortably sitting at our seat right now? Or do we feel a sense of fire? We question ourselves. These people, they are nothing different compared to us. If they can achieve, we can achieve as well, am I right? Once again, I think we should give all the team elites a big round of applause. Because like I shared earlier on, when we get to join a platform like Riway, if you truly understand the beauty of this company, then most important thing that we need to tell ourselves is we cannot be easily satisfied. I'm never satisfied in Riway because Riway gives a lot of opportunity to try different things. When I was a business development manager, I was still learning how to be a business development manager. And then during that period, because of the expansion of Riway, our boss rolled out new departments, new positions. And that was when general manager and the deputy chief comes out. And I was given this chance to become the general manager of Myanmar. Back then when I asked myself, based on what ability can I become a general manager of a country? I have no knowledge, I only know basic business development tasks. But Riway is very willing to cultivate talents in the company. You can see in Riway, almost all of our staff is not recruited from outside with experience. Every general manager, including regional director, they started from the lowest position in Riway. And I think this is the beauty of the company, because this company value its people. And I think just this alone, we should really give Riway International another round of applause. I have been running around the market with Dato Kenny, with our boss Mr. Lim. Sometimes it's really not easy, based on the schedule that they set for themselves. I want to take this opportunity to share a very, very recent incident with you all. If you might have known our boss, during Las Vegas we had a meeting with the management, and I was very honored to be invited to Las Vegas as well, to actually join a very, very intense meeting with our senior director, including Dato Kenny, including Ivy and Claudia, and also our regional director. It was at that time then I realized the kind of meetings they have behind the scene, arranging for the future of Riway, arranging for different regions' subsequent direction. It is truly an intense meeting. And I was given this opportunity to join this meeting. And it was at this moment I finally understand how come Riway is able to expand and develop with such enormous speed. Because if you realize recently, our boss, Mr. Lim, he decided to step into the market again. And what's the reason why recently, just like recently in Hungary and Poland, our boss just met up with the top 20s of each country. We have to understand why is it that now our boss is coming out into the market, meeting the top leaders of different countries, going over to their country to meet up with them, and not asking them to come over to Asia to meet us. During the meeting, I remember hearing boss say, if we continue to group or meet up with the top leaders of Riway International, and then for new markets, such as Europe is still considered a very new market. For new market, those leaders that are maybe Team Supreme Pegasus 1, Team Supreme Pegasus 2, they might never have this opportunity to actually get close with the management. And one of the very important criteria to become successful, my personal opinion, is we must be able to get close with management. Because by getting close with management, getting to know them better, we will be able to better understand the direction of the company. We will be able to understand our direction in our market. So it was at this meeting, boss decided to start all over again, just like when he started Riway International. Back then, traveling up to Malaysia, meeting certain leaders and driving back to Singapore, and then traveling back up to Malaysia. And this is the reason why, just this month alone, our boss has traveled to 13 countries. Because like I shared earlier on, many times I will hear this sentence from our boss. He will always think of what other ways he and Riway can do to make people more successful. When I joined 8 years ago, I heard these sentences before. Until now, I'm still hearing it. But the thing that is respectful is when I hear this coming from our boss, his action is the same as what he said. Because what we worry is, we say things that are very big, we promise things that are very beautiful, but your action don't justify what you are saying. But for these 8 years when I'm in Riway, every time when our boss says something, immediately he will make it happen. Just like in Las Vegas, when he mentioned that he's going to travel to 13 countries, in between all these leadership training seminars, just this month alone, we have 5 leadership training seminars, and boss participated in this event as well. So I'm not sure whether you can imagine how tight the schedule is. You have to insert before the leadership training seminar and make time back for the official leadership training seminar. And